Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Odell Beckham and Druski. They seem to be named in another lawsuit that Diddy is facing, and it happened back in 2018. So we'll further discuss that and see what the details are. We're going to talk about the economy. It seems like we're probably maybe heading into a recession. Donald Trump gave a talk earlier today or yesterday saying that he's not going to rule out the recession, and everybody's in a panic mode. But anywho, so we'll talk about recession. And then we'll talk about Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan Mulvaney, I don't know if you guys remember this guy, is a trans woman. He set out a wildfire with the 30 or 90 days of being a girl or whatever. He garnered his fame because he publicized his transition. So we'll further talk about that. He's on a book tour now. I believe it's in the UK. So we'll talk about that a little bit more and get your thoughts on it. So that's all on today's episode of Business Talks. You guys stay tuned.
Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Celeste Hodges in the building. What is good? Tyrone Price tuning in from South Carolina. Noble Young is in the building. I work for the government. Samuel Matthews, hello to you, tuning in from Dalston. Q out of the DFW. It's always great to see you guys. You guys make sure you put in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. My light is kind of off. Why it looks like that? Anyway, you guys, a lot of stuff been going on. I don't want to talk about Jasmine Crockett today because I had enough of her. Enough of Jasmine Crockett. But we might pick a story from her up about her on Wednesday. So you guys stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Dalton's election. There's another player that's running in as a mayor candidate in Dalton, Illinois. So I want to discuss her. There's been I guess a lot of bad things said about this individual. She's running as an independent. I'm not for sure. And, I just reading the comments online, a lot of people don't care too much for her. So, but I'm going to highlight, she did a sit down. You guys forgive my brain. I forget what the lady's name is. But anyway, you guys put in the chat if you remember the lady's name. Anyway, she did a sit down with and I guess I'm having a brain fart today. I'm having a true brain fart. She did a sit down not too long ago. I believe it. They launched it. When was that? Yesterday or Friday. I think it aired Friday, and her name is Cassandra Hobson. And she sat down with Regina Wardrobe from NBC Chicago. And I was just reading the comments in the chat. I guess a lot of people do not care too much for this lady, only because from what I'm getting from it, she's been in Dalton for so long, and she's just now saying, "Oh, we got to change something," and then she's never really been involved with the community, you know. So we'll talk about that, and then some other people are saying, she's a real mean girl. I guess she's no different than Tiffany. So we'll discuss that. I'm just trying to pull up more information about Cassandra Hobson's to I guess give my fair assessment on it. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So anyway, today's topic, before we get to Druski and all that stuff, I want to talk about um, the recession real quick. And because they're saying Donald Trump, he he had a press conference and they're saying he's not ruling out a recession, and that kind of drove the stock prices down, or in the stock market down, um, when he said that. I mean, yeah, I think it's going to drive prices down because, when Donald Trump speaks, he has tons of following throughout whatever social media platform you are on. He has tons of following. Okay, so we know if he says something about the market, it's going to react. And he's also the president. Okay. Okay, and it's saying, this is from CNN. It's saying U.S. stocks drop after Trump says he won't rule out a recession. And it's saying the stocks tumbled Monday, continuing a steep sell-off driven by concerns about the impact of President Donald Trump's tariff on economic growth. All three major indices opened sharply lower Monday after Trump said the U.S. economy will see a period of transition and refused to rule out a recession in an interview that was aired Sunday. Okay, this was aired on Maria Bartiromo, Sunday Morning Futures, um, and it's on Fox. It says Dow opened about 400 points or 1% lower before pulling back slightly. The broader S&P fell about 2%. NASDAQ composite fell about 3.5%. Tech stocks were leading the sell-off, dragging the NASDAQ into a correction territory. And they mentioned Tesla slid more than 8%. Um, Palantir, I don't know what that is. If you guys put in a chat if you know what this stock is, I'm not familiar. But it slid 7.5%, and uh, Nvidia, it fell 5%. Okay. So, Trump has been threatening massive tariffs against Mexico and Canada, but announced a reprieve until August the 2nd. He doubled that the tariff on all Chinese imports to 20% from 10%, and a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports is set to take an effect March the 12th, which is Wednesday. In addition, Trump threatened last week to enact a 250% tariffs on Canadian dairy products, a tremendously high tariffs on its lumber. On Sunday, he told Fox that the tariffs may still go up as time goes by. You guys remember I showed you on Thursday, as it comes to tariffs, as it comes to I hate to say as it relates to, because that's your girl saying, as it relates to um tariffs and the US economy, our gross national or gross domestic product versus Canada gross domestic product. We make 19% of their GDP. We have the upper hand, meaning that their imports from the Canada to US, we're 20% of their GDP. So we have the upper hand. I don't see why Trump cannot negotiate um, more flexibility of what he's trying to achieve, as far as the flow of fentanyl and controlling the border, and as far as a neutral or a fair trade agreement. People are losing their mind. We don't have a fair trade agreement. And to say you're our allies, you're not being a friend. You're not being a friend if I say, hey, we need your goods and services, or we agree to buy your goods and services for a fixed amount of price. And you say, oh, since you buy a lot, we're going to tax you a lot. That's basically what they're saying. And then it's a big slap in the face, even though our GDP uh, is 2% of our GDP is what we supply to Canada. And they say, oh, you're initiating tariffs on all our goods, and we're going to take all your alcohol products off our shelves. Is that a friend? Is that a friend? So you're pouting because we said, okay, maybe we're going to, take some of this money back. We're going to try to encourage some of our companies, US based companies, to make these products, especially dairy. I don't even know why the hell will we import any type of food. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with another nation controlling any of our grain and our dairy and our stuff that we ingest. I just don't agree with it. Um, Even steel and aluminum products. If we're making steel off of military equipment, all those type of products that we actually make from something that we import and we have it here, but we decided, oh, we're gonna enter into this green deal and we can't manufacture this product because it's against our environmental, I guess our environmental regulations that we put on ourselves. And so we're going to spend all this money with this other country. So you're beholden with that other country. If you piss them off, oh, we're not bringing you, you're not getting us, or we're not going to sell you any steel. And if we do sell you some steel or aluminum products or whatever, we're going to tax you. So for us to say we're allies with other people, it has to be equal. And right now it's not equal. And that's what Donald Trump is trying to level the playing field. He's trying to encourage more businesses back to the US to manufacture here. And he's trying to stop the flow of fentanyl. And he's trying to close down the borders. What is wrong with that? If you have a problem with that, why are you so anti-American? You got to look within yourself. Why don't you want to purchase food that was manufactured here? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to support your US based companies? In turn, it would create more jobs. So if you're saying, oh no, Trump, he's initiating tariffs, and I just explained to you why he's doing this. If you don't want more jobs in the US, if you don't want to consume products that's from the US, you have to look in yourself, take a hard look in the mirror and say, why do I have a problem with consuming US based products? Why do you have a problem with that? Why do you have a problem with injecting capital or cash or investing in US based companies? In turn, that it would create more jobs for your people. More jobs, less crime, economy thrive. Hello, nobody know that? I mean, is this a new concept? I thought it wasn't. It's just basic economics. But anyway, I get off my soapbox. So they're saying that the tariffs might make us go into a recession. I'm not for sure how true that is. I think the recession I don't think it has nothing to do with tariffs. I think it has everything to do with the recession that we were already going into. And so Trump has been in office, less than 60 days, a little bit over 60 days now, or it's less than 60 days because probably about 45 days now. And they're mad that Trump, he didn't turn the land of milk and honey on. It's not a light switch. He didn't turn on the land of milk and honey. Somebody tell me what's going on. Anyway, Hey Don, what's going on? Truth over everything. Have you seen the Choose Your Fighter Republican version versus the Democrats? No, I haven't. If you drop a link in the chat, if it'll allow you, put it in the chat. Q out of the DFW, Cassie. No, it wasn't Cassie. It was some other lady. Larry Huddleston tuning in from Fort Worth. Celeste is saying, I think we'll be okay. In the long, rough road, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm glad you mentioned that, is because I was watching CNN. I don't have time to play the CNN. They had a Republican analyst on there and a Democrat analyst, economists. Actually, these were economists. And the lady was saying that, yeah, we're, we could do short-term stuff like provide aid, send out checks, stimulus checks, and all that stuff, and do what they've done in the past. And we can't just blame it on Democrats. We have to say just the politicians in the past. They did temporary, short-term fixes with the economy, never long-term. Never long-term. If you want a thriving society, number one, you can't thrive off of aid. If you want a person to eat, you got to teach them how to fish. Okay, you can't just say, "Oh, here's the fish. There you go. Here's your food." And that's some of our people lived off of aid for so long that just they never known how to take care of themselves. It's a generational thing. Their mama was on aid, their grandmama was on aid, their grandchildren gonna be on aid. It's just one of those cycles that they never get out of because there's been nobody in the family to teach them how to become self-sufficient. I'm just telling you that's what the problem is. And self-sufficient, not only okay, I could get this job, but self-sufficient. We go back. I talk about our education system. How are we going to fix the education system? Well, so first we got to rule out all the corruption because they're allocating dollars to just themselves. I think I was looking at Doge. Doge has a Twitter account, and they said about 55% of the budget of educational budget goes to overhead. It don't go to the kids. Only probably trickle down about 20% goes to the kids. How are you going to have a society or usher in a society that's self-sufficient, a thriving economy, kids that has the technical skills and the technical knowledge? Usually once you get into any type of field, your mind start going and you start inventing things. How are you going to do that if you're not exposed to anything? So anyway, we gotta teach our people how to fish so they could take care of themselves. I'm using that as an analogy, but literally we're so dependent on other countries to provide food and all that stuff. I think it's totally ridiculous. And then we're providing our people here aid. We're not actually building them up so they'll be able to get those high paying jobs. We're farming them out to some other country. Why can't those high paying jobs stay here? But first we got to train our people how to fish. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm not gonna but what I was getting at, Celeste, yeah, he's looking at long-term gain. He's not looking at short-term fixes, long-term gain, so our economy could thrive and will boost up the economy. It will bring more jobs back to the US. I don't see nothing wrong with it. You guys make sure you click the like button and the subscribe button and also leave a comment, okay? This next, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting nothing. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard this. There's been a lot of overpayment in the Social Security system. That's what they found out after they did their evaluation. Those did their evaluation, and they're saying they're planning to recover 100% of the overpayments to beneficiaries, a policy that the agency abandoned last year after an outcry over cases in which the practice led some Americans to receive shock bills amounting to thousands of dollars. In a statement late Friday, that it will increase the default overpayment withheld or withholding rate for Social Security payments recipients to 100% of the person's monthly benefits in the same level that it had in place before last year's reform. The agency is required by law to claw back overpaid benefits. Because of the backlash over the 100% recovery policy, the agency last held had capped the withholding rate for some who had been overpaid at 10% of the person's monthly benefit. On Friday, they said they will start claiming 100%. I don't know how that's going to fare out. That might not fare out any especially if the social security payment is the only thing that the person relies on, you know. So and they're talking about beneficiary payments, not the people that actually applied for social security and was approved, not those people, but the like if your um parents died or something and you were able to collect their social security benefits. That's what they're talking about. It says people who are overpaid after March the 27th will automatically be placed in full recovery at a rate of 100% of the social security payment. The 100% clawback policy has sparked an outcry after instances in which beneficiaries were hit with a surprise of bills that demanded repayment with 30 days. In some cases, the bills were for tens of thousands of dollars. If beneficiaries unable to pay immediately pay the bill, the agency could dock their entire monthly Social Security payment, leaving some people financially destitute. I doubt if they're going to do that. It's probably going to be a 1-800 number you could call so you could get on a payment plan. That's what they're doing. It's saying it's about 73,000 overpayments that and this is in 2020 report alone. They're claiming it's about 73,000 overpayments that were made that year, lack of effective controls over benefit computation accuracy. 7 billion. 7 billion. They're saying Social Security pays out about 1.6 trillion in benefits each year. This is another reason why we need to educate our people that's, our younger people. So in turn that they could get jobs, so they could, I don't know, pay into the Social Security system, but I don't know if I really trust the Social Security system, given the information that we've already received over the last 45 days. That, we can't really trust our government to invest. And you know what? I read an article, Social Security is just basically a Ponzi scheme. That's how they characterize the Social Security system. You need more people to pay in so you could pay the people that you own that already paid in. Instead of the US investing your money into like some surety bonds or just the 3.5% low risk. No, they didn't invest that. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's how they characterized it in this one news article. And I believe it because that's why they're trying to get all these illegals over here that may work the system and get paid. They get a work visa so they could pay in the system, because that's what AOC and Jasmine Crockett was saying. Oh, they might be illegals, but they do pay into the system. Yeah, some of them, probably about 20% of the illegals over here do get a job and they do pay into the system. Probably about 20%. I think they said they collect about $1 billion a year. But if we're paying out $1 trillion a year, almost $2 trillion a year, that's a big gap. You guys put it in chat. Let me know what you think about that. It's a big gap that we need, that we have to fulfill. So more people are going into Social Security and claiming those benefits early as well. We're going to have more people if we don't get our people healthier. The highest disease rate in America is diabetes. And you right now, if you're type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes, you can't go, you probably could get approved for Social Security. So they're saying that's the fastest growing disease in America. And around 2045, probably like 55% of Americans will have diabetes. So one thing we do have to cure is our food, and we can't control our food source if we just allow people to supply our food source in a country, and we allow Chinese companies to buy farms here so they can manufacture our food and easily poison us. Right. So diabetes is the fastest growing disease in America, especially amongst young children. So you'll have more people trying to claim off those benefits. To alleviate that is cure our food. Then to alleviate more people paying into the Social Security, change the Social Security system. Stop making it. Don't make it a Ponzi scheme. Actually invest in mutual funds or stocks or something, so you could build cash up. So when we do have someone, an American citizen that cannot work because they do have a disease or illness that won't allow them to work because they were born with this disease or illness, we're able to take care of our own people. Now, that's very far few in between. That's probably 2 to 3% of our population. And the other working able-bodied people, which is probably 49% of our population, they should be paying into the system. But we need to be able to trust our government that they're investing in that money that we're giving them into the right, funds. You guys, let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. I'm just talking off the side of my neck, but let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. Tyrone Prices says Social Security is recovering their money as you speak. Juan is tuning in from San Antonio, Texas. Justin saying, here's the Fox response to choose your fighter link. Thank you, Justin. Truth over everything. It became a Ponzi schemes when the government started misappropriating the funds for things other than Social Security. Exactly. Other than Social Security. You got an illegal alien fund. You're putting it into FEMA. Had nothing to do with Social Security. Matter of fact, you're stealing money from the American people. You're taxing us so much, and then the people that paid into Social Security are not going to have enough money to retire on. They're going to still have to work. U.S. food is not food, it's chemicals. Exactly. Q out of DFW said, man, I served in the military and worked for the government. I know enough. I do not want to work in those top secret capacities. Too much foolishness. You don't want to know or deal with. Larry is saying, I turned 70 this year. I don't know what to do. Someone stole my truck from Walmart. So I walked home and I found my truck in the driveway, only to find my new car missing from the driveway. So they drove to your house to steal your new car. That's crazy work right there. Well, hopefully you'll find the people that did that. Anyway, so our last story is about your boy Diddy Combs. Okay. And it's really not about Diddy Combs. It's really about Odell Beckham and Druski. They were accused of a 2018 gang assault. Okay. I'm not going to use that word because I don't want to get demonetized. An alleged victim, the alleged victim is named, I'll let you know in a minute. I think her name is Ashley Parham. Ashley Parham. This was on Variety. Let me just share this with you. Ashley Parham is saying that she was attended a party, and she's saying that Odell Beckham Jr. and Druski committed this assault. Okay. It says Druski and Beckham both denied involvement in the alleged 2018 indictment or incident, which includes the victims stabbing Diddy after he and others violently did this. Gunshots being fired, and in an unclear action, local law enforcement possibly being paid off. Druski is saying this is a fabricated lie. It says the lawsuit filed in California late Friday implicates more than a dozen defendants, including Diddy, Beckham, Druski, singer, rapper Jaguar Wright, and others, in an assault on Ashley Parham and two John Does. Parham alleged in a film filing made last October that she had been drugged, kidnapped, and assaulted by multiple individuals after Diddy heard her saying she believed he was involved in the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. This admitted filing identifies several other individuals who were allegedly involved. The alleged comments took place over the FaceTime call between Diddy and Associated Shane Pierce in February 2018. Okay. And the alleged assault took place at one of the defendant's apartment the following month. How did you know him? Druski 30 denied any involvement in the statement on social media, writing, "This allegation is a fabricated lie. I wasn't even a public figure in 2018. I was broke, living in my mom's without any connection to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation. So the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish." He needs to file defamation suit. And like what's his name? Jay-Z. Because Druski wasn't famous then. He wasn't famous in 2019. Matter of fact, Druski, if you go back and look at old videos, I think the you start seeing him around 2020, 2021, you know. My heart breaks for the actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are maliciously trying to gain the legal system to peddle false narratives. And then you got to think about Druski. He was probably 21, 22. It's not at all likable. What am I saying? It's not that he could not have been there because he's 21. It's just why would you be hanging around Odell Beckham and Puff Daddy unless you actually know them, you know? And he said he didn't know them. And he wasn't even famous. In reply, Beckham wrote in a awkwardly spelled post, "Boy, I tell you what, this world makes absolutely no sense. I am covered by God. He will prevail. I know who I am. I know who you are. Keep your head. That name will that name will be cleared." Something stupid. I don't know what he talking about. Nobody knows what Odell Beckham's talking about, but he's saying it's, it wasn't him. I did see a video, and I'm not going to share this video, but this is Odell Beckham and Justin Bieber. I'm doing some late salacious stuff. They said Justin Bieber was doing something to Odell Beckham in this video. It wasn't really clear, but Justin Bieber was in the video. Anyway, this new complaint brought by an attorney who's already being sued for defaming Mr. Combs demonstrate that the depraved plaintiffs will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. Mr. Combs was nowhere near Orinda, California. That's what they're saying. He wasn't nowhere near Orinda, California on that day. Ms. Parham claims she was assaulted there, and the Contra Coast Sheriff's Department has already confirmed Ms. Parham's claims were determined to be unfounded following a thorough investigation. Mr. Combs looks forward to having his day in court, where these lies and these perverse motives are those who told them will be revealed. They said the lawsuit is gruesome. Um, and what she claims that happened to her. It says last month, his lawyer, Anthony Rico, filed a motion to resign, saying, under no circumstances can I continue. This is Puff Daddy lawyer. He he resigned. One thing I want to point out, these frivolous lawsuits are going to really I believe is going to have a direct impact on the indictment that they're trying to prove against Sean Diddy Combs. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because these types of allegations are making the headline. And when they find out that these allegations are false or unfounded or unclaimed, and then the people that you made the allegations against are suing the actual attorney, and his name is Busby, suing the attorney. This is like the second or third case that somebody is saying, no, I didn't do it. It's absolutely a fabricated lie. And reason why it is a lie, because X, Y, and Z. Okay, so you making these fabricated lies posting them on in public media. The perception is starting to change against Sean Diddy Combs. So if these allegations aren't true, what other allegations aren't true? And I'm not saying that P. Diddy Combs is not a disgusting human being. What we saw on that tape with Cassie was deplorable. But what I am saying is you can change the public's mind about him because of these false allegations. So anyway, you guys, like I said, put it in the chat and tell me what you think about that. Okay. I do have another story. I said that was my last story, but I do have another story. This story, I don't like using what is it called? I don't like using the word um uh, uh, only reason why I don't like using the word, Google gets funny about, oh, you're trying to bully transgender. No, I'm just talking about it. So I don't want to get dinged and blacklisted because I'm talking about this. But Dylan Mulvaney, you guys know, seen this guy before. This is Dylan Mulvaney. You know, there is International Women's Day. So Dylan Mulvaney cosplaying women, of course, he got to monopolize off of cosplaying being a woman. So he went on a book tour. Okay. And this book tour called Paper Dolls. That's the book he came out with. And then you have all these individuals crying, and these are females crying like, "Oh, thank you for taking our place." I don't understand that. So he's an influencer. You guys saw what he looked like. Um, Shared a scene from his book tour promoting his memoir Paper Dolls. Notes from the late bloomer, which reflects on his rise to fame and delves into some of his controversies. I'm changing the hers to his because he's a man. You guys could get upset about that, but trans woman, the word trans, I don't know if you guys know where that um the meaning is across or beyond. I'm across. And it says or through. So you're crossing, um I guess, to the other side. So and gender, that means you're crossing genders. Anyway, that's basically what it means. So anyway, you're not real. You're just saying in my mind that I'm crossing to this other side to act like I'm that type of person. Anyway, so like I said, I'm just changing uh the her to he. So he posted Happy International Day. He's saying it's one of the best days of my life. I love meeting with all of you and can't wait to see more of you on my book tour. I'm so thankful for the women that surrounded me, and especially on Drew Affalu. Um, but as a video spread online, many accuse Mulvaney of simple pretending to be a woman for clout. I think he is. I think he is. And since that is with the narrative of mainstream media, they prop the Dylan Mulvaney up to be like, oh, he's so brave. It's not brave switching genders. That's not a brave thing. Oh, he's living his truth. No, he's not. He's living a falsehood. So how in the F would he know? She asked rhetorically. This is from Sarah Rose, ex-user. These people are mentally insane. You see all the people in the background like, hey, Dylan, I love you. So he does have a support with some of his following. And so, they kept on, it's some people that was pretty um upfront about it. It says Dylan Mulvaney mocking International Women's Day with his girl book is peak delusion. Real women don't play dress up for clout, they live it. This dude is a fraud, not a female. And the left exception with him approves. They've lost the plots. Sarah Rose said this POS with the penis, Dylan Mulvaney, had the audacity to celebrate International Women's Day by promoting his new book about how to be a girl. How in the F would he know? These people are mentally insane. Amanda said this feels like cultural appropriation. Amanda said, shit, this feels like cultural appropriation. What? And you could say it is somewhat cultural appropriation because you're saying that you're a woman and You're trying to teach people how to be a woman and you're not a woman. Like, what is going on? You're not a woman. Um, so Dylan been out since 2022 from the days of girlhood off his TikTok series. Um, my bad. They also is saying she or he did spark what researchers at Harvard Business School called one of the biggest boycotts in American history when he partnered with Bud Light in 2023. You guys remember that they lost $1 billion in sales that year. It really hurted the company. So this is what Dylan looks like. Dylan looks like a boy to me. And he is trying to, I believe, like everybody's saying, is cosplaying. He's cosplaying being a woman and he's monopolizing on, look at me. I could just change into a woman. And I am. And then you have all these liberal nuts saying, oh, he, keep on referring to him as a he or a she. He's not a she. You could just say trans woman. I agree with that. He's a trans woman. But she is not a she, you know. And they're trying to diminish being a woman down to just putting on a dress and makeup. That's not what makes a woman. Oh, we dance around and spray bugs and like I don't know if you ever looked at any of the girlhood videos that he posted online. He's tiptoeing in a biker shorts and a tube top outside with you know, bug spray. And he got on like high heels shoes. Well, women don't walk around like that, number one. We're not going to go to a park and wear high heel shoes. The women I know, we're not wearing high heel shoes. And if it's bugs outside, we probably have pants or something on or some, to cover up. So anyway, it's really sad to see a lot of people and a lot of women that jump this bandwagon and say, oh, we're going to have our full support for a man that's cosplaying you, that diminish down your value down to, hey, I'm just a girl. All a girl is just some makeup and maybe a hair weave and some eyelashes and some fingernails. Anyway. Anyway, you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. Minimizing femininity. Exactly. So that's it for today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video and comment on this video. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to talk about Cassandra. What was her name? Cassandra that's running in Dalton. I'm just going to pull up more information. I think All in the Queue, she posted a video about her. But we're going to talk about her and what her, I guess, outlook in politics. I don't think she's going to win this go around, but we'll see. Maybe she does have more support than what we see on YouTube. All right, you guys, I'm sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.